Hi, have you ever wished that you had a different name? Did you ever ask your parents to call you something different? I can remember when I was in elementary school and I did not want to be called Julie. I really don't remember what name I did want, but I just knew that I didn't want it to be Julie. There were about 6 other girls in my grade with the name Julie, and we were always getting confused. Which teacher was the Julie talking to? Recess was really confusing because everybody on the playground was yelling for a different Julie, and we didn't know which one they wanted. So I guess as an adult, it's not so bad anymore. But today's story is about a man whose name was changed, and it wasn't his decision. But I really think he's glad that he has a different name now. So let's read our story from the Beginner's Bible. And it's found in Acts chapter 9, verses 1 through 19. And the title of the story is A Changed Man. It says, Saul did not like Jesus' followers. He was on his way to put some of them in jail. And you can tell by looking at his face that he looks really angry and mad. Suddenly, a bright light flashed around him. Saul fell to the ground, and a loud voice asked, Saul, why are you against me? Saul was afraid, and he cried out, Who are you? The voice replied, I am Jesus, the one you are against. Go to Damascus, and you will be told what to do. When Saul got up, he couldn't see. Some men who were traveling with Saul led him to the city. Jesus had also appeared to a man named Ananias. Jesus led Ananias to Saul. Ananias laid his hands on Saul and said, Jesus sent me to you. You may see again. Be filled with the Holy Spirit. Immediately, Saul could see. Then Ananias baptized him. After this, God changed Saul's name to Paul. He was a new man. Instead of hating Jesus' followers, he loved them, and he became a follower too. Paul was glad to have his name changed, and he was really glad that he wouldn't be called Saul anymore. He wanted people to know that he was changed both on the inside and the outside. And that is only something God can do, is change us on the inside. Paul now loved others just like Jesus has told us to. And the Holy Spirit helped Paul to be brave to tell others about Jesus' love and to let them know that he had been changed. And if Paul can do it, then we can too. So let's do our memory verse together. It says, Give thanks to the Lord, for he is good. His love endures forever. Psalm 107, verse 1. I know that we have talked before about the caterpillar and the changes that it goes through. And we've even spent several weeks watching caterpillars change. They go from a caterpillar to a chrysalis, and then eventually they become this beautiful butterfly. And just like they're not very pretty when they start out, they're kind of, we don't really care to look at them because they look like a worm. But then they do this marvelous, beautiful thing and become a butterfly that fly around, and they pollinate our flowers and our vegetables in our garden, and they have a real purpose now. And that's kind of like what happened to Saul. When he became Paul, God had given him a purpose for his life, and that's the way we are too. When God changes us on the inside, he gives us a special job to do, and that's to tell others about his love for them. So today we're going to send home to your home your coloring page, and here's what it is for today. And it shows Saul, and he's fallen to the ground, and the bright light is coming down, and he's hearing God's voice. And then on the back is our story. You'll have that, and then we're going to send you a butterfly to color, and you can color it any pattern that you would like. But we're also going to send you the instructions for a really fun craft, and it's really simple. And you take a coffee filter, any size, And you can color it in any way that you want with magic markers, crayons, paints, any way that you would like to. And then you just simply squish it in the middle. And I used a pipe cleaner to make my butterfly's body, but you could easily use a clothespin and do the same thing. And then when you put the clothespin on there, put the eyes and the antenna on it. And that way you can maybe attach it to your refrigerator or use it to hold something. And there you've got a beautiful butterfly that reminds us of spring, because spring is happening now and we should see a lot more butterflies. So here's a couple of books I want to share with you. And the first one is called Loved, and it's by Sally Lloyd Jones, and it's a simple retelling of the Lord's Prayer. And she does a great job of putting the scriptures in story form. We've talked about one of her other books before, and I just love the illustrations in here. They're really, really nice. But the story is beautiful in and of itself. And then something that goes great with our story today that we've used in class before that you all really like is The Very Hungry Caterpillar by Eric Carle. And it takes us through the changes of the egg to the caterpillar and all the foods that he eats. And then at the very, very end, he becomes this beautiful butterfly. So that's a really fun story to read too. Something I do want to remind you about is Mother's Day is coming up this Sunday. And I know it's really hard to get out to the stores and shop and buy your mom something. So I'm going to send you 4 different things that you can make for your mom for Mother's Day. And I'll just be really honest, as a mom, we would much rather have something that you have made instead of anything that you could buy at the store. So don't worry about that. Just show mom a little extra love on Sunday and thank her for all that she does for you. And then give her one of these handmade cards that I'm going to be sending you as well. So I'm including also 3 new worship songs that we've not done before. So I want you to practice those and learn the words to them and the motions. And then we will practice those and do those together when we all come back again later. So love you guys, and I will see you next week.